Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Weekly Comic Run. We've covered this week's X-Men and Star Wars books. Now it's time to move on. Kicking things off, we've got Black Panther #2. Where we left off, T'Challa has returned to Wakanda from his exile, though he is currently operating out of the Wakandan city of T'Chaka, which is far from the far from the gaze of the Golden City of. There's actually a map in the back. But basically, it's not the capital, and so it's easier for him to operate in the shadows as there are shadows. But a group in the city has managed to get a hold of a deathlock. So we begin. A man named Ive is cleaning up the restaurant he works at, talking with the owner of the restaurant. He's kind of just saying, that people should be that maybe dreaming, trying to chase one's dreams isn't exactly the best idea. Ive is revealed to be T'Challa in disguise. He gets a message from Shuri before suiting up to go out as Black Panther. Elsewhere, one of the a woman from the one we see on the cover, Besa, is going after the home of one of T'Chaka's more wealthy families. However, T'Challa shows up. They fight, fairly evenly matched, though she doesn't believe he's actually T'Challa, just someone playing a part. And while it does seem that she got what she came for, well, she still escapes. In the Ilonga family compound, the Deathlock they've managed to get a hold of, which, like I said, as I said last month, I believe is Michael Collins' version, is brought online for a test, and it's revealed he was tricked into showing up. But it does appear he's being made to utilize his Deathlock abilities against his will. But Shuri gets in touch once again with T'Challa. Apparently, there's basically Shuri's communications will likely soon be monitored, so she won't be able to talk to T'Challa as often as she'd like. But she has sent someone to provide T'Challa with some assistance. Nightshade. Namely, bringing along a few gadgets of Shuri's. Across town, Besa is walking among the people, and I would imagine seeing what's going on, and any idea of, well, those that may that she may have, those that she may have to go after. But T'Challa has managed to find where she lives and is not getting to talk to her, and that is where the issue ends. I gotta say that this is definitely starting off in a good place, I'd say. Evie Wing's story is intriguing. I look forward to seeing how it all plays out. So, moving on though to our next book, we've got Blade #1. So I think this is actually a Blade miniseries, but Blade is the Daywalker. His mother was bitten by the vampire Deacon Frost while she was pregnant with him, and he has basically all of the traits of the vampires, none of the weaknesses. He can walk in the sunlight. While he does have the thirst, it's not as powerful to control him. Though in extreme moments of in extreme circumstances, it can be a problem. Blade has been an Avenger, also a member of the Midnight Suns. So we begin at a club. Young woman's hanging out, watching others, but she's seen by a vampire. She's followed She tries to go outside, but there are others waiting. But Blade arrives using UV headlights and manages to injure or kill the vampires in question and save the young girl, Dinah Smith. Apparently she was supposed to be safe at the club. A week previously, Blade was meeting with a werewolf, Tanaka, with a man who had been killed rather gruesomely. But there's a girl, not a werewolf, something else, but Tanaka explains there's a shift in the second world. Vampires, werewolves, specters, all the nasties. They can feel it. If Blade was a full-blood, he could too. Oh wait, Dana, not Dinah. Tanaka explains that Dana's at the center of this. Doesn't know why, but the elders don't even know why. She's at the center of a whole lot of nightmares, and there's something worse hunting her. So he's got to keep the girl alive. But Tanaka explains, and when Blade asks what's hunting her, Tanaka simply says that they don't have a name for it. Part of cultist might be immortal. A mystery from whence he came. And it seems that the creature that killed Dana's boyfriend is still alive, and, well, Blade fixes that. But Blade takes Dana to Tanaka's house when they're attacked by an armored swordsman, speaking in a language that Blade can't understand. And Blade fights the swordsman, and something clicks within Dana. There is an entity within her that takes the swordsman's sword after Blade kills the swordsman, explaining that sword's the only thing that can kill her. The entity's name is Adana. Blade and Adana fight. Blade gets defeated. Adana peels her skin off, revealing her true self. Nearly 2 weeks later, in the Cardamom Mountains of Khmer Rouge, in Cambodia, Blade is being held prisoner in a monastery. They wish to punish him for, well, unleashing Adana on the world. But one member thinks that perhaps talking and recruiting him would help. And so, they have to work together, and that is where the issue ends. Interesting start to things. I kind of got the feeling in the club scene that it was a Dazzler show, in part just because blonde girl singing, and also misinterpreting the Blade's arrival in the headlights. So, but yeah. Otherwise, interesting start to a Blade series. As I said, I think it's just a miniseries, so one shouldn't get their hopes up for ongoing. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Moon Knight City of the Dead, #1. Kicking off a new Moon Knight miniseries. So, we've got... we start with Moon Knight going after a group called the Sons of the Jackal. They are worshippers of Anubis. They're trying to kill a young boy as a sacrifice, but Moon Knight stops them. However, in doing so, Khalil, the young boy, is injured, seemingly shot. And so, Moon Knight takes Khalil to the only person he can think to take him to. Hunter's Moon, the other fist of Khonshu. Hunter's Moon is, after all, a doctor. But Khalil is barely alive. Explaining that the boy sustained a concussion, internal bleeding, full cardiac arrest, died on the table for 5 minutes before Badir could bring him back. No signs of brain activity. Without a ventilator, he'll perish in minutes. But Moon Knight explains that says that Khalil's not dead yet, and opts to go into the Duat, the city of the dead, to bring out his soul. Obviously, entering the city of the dead is not an easy task. With Moon Knight actually having to push, not give in to the call of the abyss. But he first goes to the Temple of Osiris. Osiris's guards won't let him through, however. But he insists on finding the boy's soul. We see that Emut is consuming souls in the desert. Moon Knight encounters some of the deceased sons of the serpent, or sons of the jackal, including some who had descended from those who battled invaders from the stars alongside Sabanur. Yes, Apocalypse. Which further empowers the Sons of the Jackal with seemingly the powers of the Four Horsemen, and it's the first four. Which, nice little touch, utilizing the original Four Horsemen, historically speaking. So, yes, the actual children of Apocalypse. But Moon Knight deals with them, and but he does end up. They basically push him into his own nightmares, and so we end up revisiting the fall of the Karnak Cowboys. And well, Moon Knight points out that he knows his nightmares, and he knows exactly, and he doesn't care if he burns them or not. But one of the sons of Jackal tried to attack him from behind, but he's saved by Layla Faluli, who insists on being referred to as the Scarlet Scarab, as she was in the Disney Plus series. Elsewhere, Khalil is being held by the soul of a man calling himself the Jackal Knight, basically trying to be the Fist of Anubis. And well, he summoned forth the souls of many of Moon Knight's deceased enemies, including Black Spectre. It's the only one I can really get a name on. So, but that is where the issue ends. Strong start. Great see. It was great last week in Moon Knight 25 seeing Layla brought into the Marvel Universe as a whole, and even better seeing her show up here as Scarlet Scarab. As I understand, that is something that will be her being Scarlet Scarab will be something that continues on. I'm guessing that by the end of this miniseries, they'll have brought her back into the world of the living, but we'll see. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy number 4. Where we left off, Groot Fall is, it's a thing. It's happening. It's devastating planets in the manifold, in the fold. Recently, Star-Lord participated as a member of the Spartoid royalty in a planned hunt. They came upon him and the other nobles came upon Flora Colossus, and Star-Lord was able to briefly talk with the Flora Colossus. But it seems that he can't get all the answers out of it alone. So this issue focuses on the Star Sheriff. Who is the Star Sheriff? It's Rocket, whom we haven't seen at all in the last 3 issues. But the Star Sheriff is the sheriff of a world called Refuge. Every time a Groot shows up coming towards the planet, Groot gets in his giant space gun, gets it into position, and blasts it out of space. But people have been showing up from 12 different colonies, and Rocket's trying to, make sure he knows all the people there. A more recent group that arrives is a religious sect, the Faithful of the Endless Branch, who claim that soon they will all be Groot. Rocket, he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Among the rules, there are 3 main rules. Don't mess with the railroads. The defenses rely on them. Play nice with everyone. Full stop. If a beastie gets past the gun, evacuate and never look back. But Rocket's keeping a tally of the Groots he's taken down. It's quite a bit, actually. He also has a robot that can get him to and from the various guns. That is actuated to, basically, it is programmed to, just say I am Groot in various tones. But there's an alert of a Groot incoming, so Rocket gets strapped into the gun, but the rail, something's obstructing the track. There's an explosion. So, caused by the faithful of the Endless Branch. But Rocket flies up into space with the basically the anti-Groot round being carried by his mech Groot, and he ejects from it as it clears the Groot and explodes, destroying the Groot. Rocket's floating in space and removes his badge after shouting at the Groot, "What the hell do you want?" and seeing it make Groot fall. But Rocket is teleported away to the Guardian's ship, where Peter explains that he started to talk to Groot, and if they want to finish the conversation, all of them need to be there. And the ship flies off into space as the issue ends. This has definitely been an interesting start to this Guardian series. I'm hoping maybe this might be the Guardians book that actually sticks around for a while. It'd be nice to have a Guardians book that lasts more than at least get past the 20-issue mark. Moving on to our last book for the moment, we've got Alien number 4. So, where we left off, LV-695 was, it was becoming more and more overrun as Weyland-Yutani was, being Weyland-Yutani. The scientist who's been working at the dig site of the planet, along with her partner and her daughter, are the partner has managed to escape and was trying to get the Weyland-Yutani vessel up and running and into space, but it crashed into the frozen oceans. Xenomorphs, however, are on the loose. With one of the Marines, the Marine starter having been attacked by a facehugger, and more aliens swarming throughout. But yes, scientist Battaya Zahn, her partner Dayton, and her daughter Zasha. Those are. It should be known that Battaya is pregnant, and as I basically confirming the theory I stated last month that the pregnancy that Battaya's pregnancy is xenomorph related. That's confirmed. Then she also explained she was doing some off the books research and that's kind of why that's what Weyland-Yutani is really after. But Battaya goes into labor, and Zasha has to deliver the baby. The sergeant from earlier gives birth as well, in a typically violent manner that xenomorphs give birth. But Battaya sadly seemingly dies in childbirth, while Zasha puts her little brother in a containment vessel and tries to make her way out, running into a bone white xenomorph that attacks her, but she's saved by Dayton, who's managed to get out of the ship. As, however, Dayton is revealed to be, in fact, a synthetic. And that is where the issue ends. I can't say I'm entirely surprised to learn that Dayton was a synthetic. But, interesting arc. Seems to be a common theme within Alien, even going back to the Dark Horse Alien stories, is the idea of scientists experimenting with xenomorph materials in an effort to be kept to, well, basically become important for Weyland-Yutani or after Earth War, other corporations. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. Huge shout out to patron Xander Lee. Thank you so much for your support. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.